Welcome, boys and girls, to Lesson 8.6, Comparing Fractions. The objective today is to guide children as they compare fractions using region models. Some of the objectives today, of course, will be to read fractions, compare fractions to 1/2, use an area model to compare fractions, identify patterns and relationships between numerators. For the math message today, take out your fraction cards. Turn them so the picture sides, the side with the shaded parts, are face up. Find all the unit fractions that are fractions that have 1 in the numerator. Put them in order from the card with the smallest part shaded to the card with the largest part shaded. What patterns do you notice? These are not in order here, so please put them in order. Pause the video now. Boys and girls, as you can see, these are all in order. We have 1/6, 1/5, 1/4, 1/3, and 1/2. So as you can see, the smallest fraction has the largest denominator with 6. The largest fraction has the smallest denominator, which is a 2. Now find in order 5/10, 2/10, and 8/10. Pause the video now. What do you notice about these cards? One thing you might notice is that the numerators are different and the denominators are all the same, of course. And the smaller the numerator, the smaller the fraction this time. And the larger the numerator, the larger the fraction section. So which one the fraction is the smallest would be the 2/10. Which one's the largest, which would be the 8/10. Now, boys and girls, find the following fraction cards that you have cut out. The 1/2, the 1/4, the 2/10, the 10/12, the 4/8, the 4/5, the 3/9, the 0/4, the 2/2, and the 2/3 cards. Find those cards here. When you finish finding those cards, use the 1/2 card to help you find all the cards that are less than 1/2 shaded. Pause the video now. Here are all the cards from that list that are less than 1/2. And I placed the 1/2 card here so you could see. 2/10, 1/4, 3/9, and 0/4. So, what do you observe about all these cards? One thing that hopefully you can observe is that all these cards' numerator, which is the top number, is less than half of the bottom number, which is the denominator. To be half, that would have to be 5/10. 2/10 is less than 5/10. This would have to be 2/4. Well, 1/4 is less than that. And of course 3/9 is a smaller number, and 0/4 is again smaller than 2/4. Now name fractions that are less than half of the denominator 8, as in the fraction 4/8. You can think about this. Numbers could be, or fractions could be, 3/8 is less than half the denominator in 4/8. 2/8 is less than half the denominator in 4/8. 1/8 and 0/8 are all less than half the denominator, which is 8 in the fraction 4/8. Now find all the cards from that list of cards that are more than half shaded, greater than 1/2. Here are all the fraction cards that are greater than 1/2. Of course, I have 1/2 here for reference. 2/3 is greater, 4/5, 10/12, and 2/2 are all greater than 1/2. So what do you observe here? You should observe, boys and girls, that the numerator, our top number, is more than half our bottom number, the denominator. 4 is more than half of 5, 10 is more than half of 12, and of course 2 is equal to 2 on the bottom, and that's why it's a full covered card. Now find all the cards from the list that are exactly 1/2 shaded. From our list, you can see that the only cards here are 1/2 and 4/8. So what do we observe about these cards? Well, we should be able to say that our numerator is exactly half of our denominator. 1 is half of 2, 4 is half of 8. Now, put all the cards back that you were using in the deck and take out the following cards: 1/4, 3/4, 1/5, 4/5, 1/6, 5/6, 2/10, 8/10, 2/12, and 10/12. When you're done doing that, find all the cards with more than 3/4 shaded. Pause the video here. Here are the cards with more than 3/4 shaded of that group. And here's 3/4 for reference. You have 4/5, 5/6 card, 8/10, and 10/12. So what do you notice and observe about the numerators and denominators of these fractions? Well, what you should be looking to see is that they are very close together. 4 is very close to 5, 5 is very close to 6, 8 is close to 10, and 10 is close to 12. When you have them this close together, boys and girls, you'll know you'll have a larger fraction size. Lastly, boys and girls, find all the cards from this group that show less than 1/4 of the card shaded. Here are the cards, boys and girls, which are less than 1/4. Which card did you use to guide your comparison? Well, hopefully you said 1/4. What do you observe about the numerator and denominator of these fractions? When you have a very small part of a card shaded, the numerator of the fraction is very small compared to the denominator of the fraction. So the difference is very great. The difference here is 5 between 1 and 6. This is 4. This is 8, the difference, and the difference here is 10. So it's a great difference between our numerator and denominator. Finally, boys and girls, we're going to take all this fraction knowledge and put it to use in playing a fun game called Fraction Top It. You will need your fraction cards that you cut out from your math journal. 2 people play this game. Your skill is to compare fractions, and the object is to collect more cards than your opponent. You're going to shuffle the fraction cards and place the deck picture side down on the table. Number 2, each player turns over a card from the top of the deck. The player compares the shaded part of the card. The player with the larger shaded portion takes both cards. If the shaded parts are equal, the fractions are equivalent. Each player then turns over another card. The player with the larger fraction takes all the cards from both players. This game is kind of like the game War. The game is over when all cards have been taken from the deck. The player with more cards wins. The examples here they give you: a player turns over a 3/4 card and the other player turns over a 4/6 card. The 3/4 card has a larger shaded area. As you can see here, the player holding the 3/4 card gets both cards. A player turns over a 1/2 card and a 4/8 card. The other one turns over 4/8. The shaded part are equal, and each player turns over another card. The player with the larger fraction card takes all the cards then on that play. So good luck with this, and have fun.